We shall see how impressive you truly are.
Before we go into battle, we need to get in some training, so we're off to the gauntlet with our old buddy Lastimosa.
Here we go.
Senpai notices me.
Technically, I'm not supposed to be training you, but in you I see potential.
After a quick warm-up, we meet up with Lastimosa and head to the range.
Combat, things never go as you expect. You must be ready to use any weapon you can find on the field.
We make it to the range, but I don't want to have to shoot my gun. I know they're not enemies, so it doesn't count, but I still try my best to melee my way through this. Maybe it's somehow possible. I finally just shoot the targets and move on to the gauntlet. Like I said at the range, I know they're not enemies, but I don't want to shoot them if I don't have to. So I just run through. I take a quick second to finalize my controls before talking to Lastimosa and moving on.
All done with the gauntlet?
That brings back some memories.
Bro, just give me the fucking trophy!
All done with the gauntlet?
Oh, done with the gauntlet?
The past aside, we beat the gauntlet and completed our pilot training. Now it's time to train with our Titan. We get introduced to BT, but when it's my turn to call in my Titan, we have to leave and go to war. It's time to put my training to the test.
Heads up, they're killing us. Trying to anyway. Good luck. Meet at the dropship.
After our conversation, I get handed a gun I'll never use, and the screen fades to black. It's time to choose the difficulty, and I tell the chef I want my gameplay regular. With that out of the way, we drop out of the battle bus and into our first mission. Once we land, our door pops off, and we hop out to join the battle. I feel a bit in over my head when I see the army of robots coming up, so I try to go around where there's less enemies. This might be a little harder than I thought. All I have to do is make it to the top of that hill and initiate a cutscene.
This is Captain Lastimosa. I got a fix on your location. On my way.
BT and Lastimosa save us, but end up losing the fight. We wake up to see our future opponents. Then again, right as I'm about to be eaten, they start fighting and BT saves me again. He gets really close to me and decides to give over BT to me. Once he passes, I bury him under his rock collection and put on his helmet to sync with BT.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
This is a serious situation, so BT teaches us the cloak technique. BT's in bad shape, so he sends out a signal to find some batteries. And it's up to us to go get them for him. I have to move fast or they'll eat ass. We eventually make it past and encounter a group of enemies. These three were the warm-up before the real battle. After that, a new challenger appeared. Drones. We'd have to get airborne to deal with these guys. Once we got past that, all of a sudden it was raining robots, and it was not Hallelujah. Take 2. I miss another kick and decide to bail. My power might not be enough to deal with this yet. A true martial artist knows when not to fight, right? But I still defend myself, and even manage to defeat a dog, and then make my escape. We finally have our double jump, and it came at a perfect time, because now we have to climb. We just keep climbing up, find some drones, and eventually find the battery. Now we just have to make it back. We find some guys hanging around BT, and decide to greet them. Once they're dealt with, I stick it in him. The battery! Now we just need one more and BT will be at full power.
I think so. But don't worry, BT. I'm not going anywhere.
Except to prison for the rest of my life. As fun as the executions are, I'm gonna have to be careful with them. If I get this one, I'm gonna have to reload the checkpoint. But as far as I could tell, it's the only gun-based execution and all the rest are melee. This time we defeat them without shooting anybody, and we bail as soon as the drone shows up, because
ain't nobody got time for that.
We flank a guy, head down a zipline, then wall run up to our next battle. I assess the area while cloaked, then go in for the kill. Third time's the charm. We cloak again so we can climb to the top without being attacked, and then take out the turret as fast as possible. I'm pretty beat up, but with the last of the enemies cleared, we can just climb up and get to the last battery. Now we just have to make it back one more time.
Our location has been compromised.
But of course it wouldn't be that easy.
It's better for our infantry to fight it first, rather than a roaming prowler.
I had to pull out all the stops for that fight, but we made it. We stick it in BT one more time, and he goes to full power.
Power at full capacity.
Now we can finally pilot a Titan. We hop in and BT decides to list off the protocols. He has to, you know, it's required by OSHA and all that.
Link to pilot. Neuralink established. Protocol 2. Uphold the mission.
Just as I'm about to pass out from boredom, I mean, just as he's about to finish talking, we're attacked. BT's still booting and we can't move, so he unveils his ultimate technique, the Vortex Shield. It's a forbidden technique, but we have no other choice. After a minute, the Acolyte pod comes online, but I don't want to use that because that would be shooting. We just keep using our Vortex shield. And eventually, we can move again. I can move! I can fight! I reload my gun for some reason, but then I can move and put the smackdown on these little robots. BT detects an enemy Titan incoming.
Pilot, enemy Titanfall detected.
For some reason, I run off to where you leave the level, and when I come back, he's already here. So the fight commences. BT's fighting style is a lot simpler than Jack's. You could call him One Punch Man. Or the One Punch Titan.
Our combat effectiveness rating has increased.
Our power level increased, and now we can actually leave the level. We're on to the next level, Blood and Rust. But that last Titan fight was just a warm-up for this. I hope we can get through this with just our fists. We can't stop now, so we drop into the action. Oh, that might be an issue. For someone other than me! He ripped his arms off while I was attacking him. But I didn't let his savagery stun me. Our burst core comes online, but of course we can't use it. We have to stick to our gun. I mean our fists, of course. We heal up and head to our next fight. It's not over yet. But as soon as I'm about to advance, an enemy sneaks by our lines and starts to flank us. I have to take care of him first. It takes me a while because he keeps running from me, but I finally get him. We barely make it, surviving with just one hit left. We have to make it to that battery, or it's all over. It was a close call, but once we move ahead a bit, we get some more heals and the tone loadout, which we won't be using. Eventually, we walk into an arena fight with two enemy Titans. The soldiers around us are firing at us too. This won't be easy. I try to bait one over to this cover spot, but it doesn't work, so I just move in. Thankfully, we defeated him and got to heal a little. But will it be enough to defeat the next Titan? We did it. Now it's time for us to disembark and open the gate.
Pilot, our path through this facility is blocked by a flow regulation gate. There should be a control interface nearby.
There's a lot of enemies guarding this place, but I think I have the drop on them. I opened the gate for BT, but can't get out the way I came in, so we'll have to find another way to meet up with him.
Tracking me. It's kinda creepy, BT.
I have no wish to incite fear.
Listen up. This is King. What we have here, my IMC and militia friends, is a failure to communicate. And that's okay. That's okay.
You didn't see that.
That guy doesn't sound stable.
Agreed. Scans indicate the source is somewhere in this facility. We should not waste time here.
We take a pretty bad hit, but it won't stop us. This hallway's gonna be filled with enemies. I need to find the path of least resistance.
Plenty militia left in the facility, just so you know, this is Kane's place. You're welcome to stay as long as it takes to kill you. Which, by the way, not be long.
Raccoon 3, 9th Militia Fleet. We're held up in the reclamation facility. And NCF, mechanized infantry. We're trapped.
I'm detecting friendly militia forces along your path.
We barely make it past the drone fire, and there's some friendlies up ahead that need our help. Apparently they had a robot infestation and needed an exterminator for these Terminators. Have you ever seen someone get kicked up a flight of stairs? Well, now you have. Well, it's clear up here, but we can't leave just yet. We gotta help our teammates, too. It's the way of a true martial artist. After helping with the standoff, we wall run up some pipes to our next battle.
Where am I going, BT?
We must proceed through this facility and continue to the rendezvous point with Major Anderson. It is our only chance of survival.
We clear out all the enemies and almost get mowed down. We just have to time it and run through when the time's right.
So I got word that there's some Vanguard-class Titan and an SRS pilot taking out my IMC support. Whoever you are. Not bad at all, friend.
We're getting destroyed by this pilot. Heads up, he's nearby.
What is this guy shooting at? You might want to do more than point. We finally make it through, and after wall running over a vat of acid, we meet up with BT once again.
Long time no see, BT.
On the contrary, your helmet provided me with a live feed of your actions. You fought well out there, pilot.
We're not done just yet. We need to deactivate the sludge.
Security forces.
We just need to survive until the sludge gets shut off. Easy. Well, except for the ticks. You know, since we can't melee them. I stay low until the soldiers show up, and then I resurface to make my move.
Pump shutdown sequence at 40%.
You know what? Maybe I am powerful enough to melee one of these ticks. Alright, let's try that again.
Pump shutdown sequence at 50%.
I barely escaped this whole place exploding. But as long as I don't punch any more ticks, I think we'll make it.
Pump shutdown sequence at 90%.
After a difficult battle,
Pilot, that was a difficult battle.
we finally get to reunite with BT and embark. We'll need his power for what's about to come next.
You were not invited to Kane's party, and that's why you're dead.
The first boss. I'm gonna have to defeat him and a brute with just my fists! A big problem that I quickly realized is that he has an overshield like I do, that I'm gonna have to punch down until I can get to his main health. I have to do as much damage as possible before having to heal. Every time I leave, his overshield gets to recharge.
Battery required.
I have to be careful about how many times I get injured too. There's a limited number of heals on the map.
Excessive damage. Warning. Warning. Battery.
The challenge couldn't end here. I wouldn't give up. I kept trying and trying and trying, but over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, I failed. BT didn't want to have to use this technique, but there may be no other way. We can't just take their hits. We have to defend ourselves if we want to survive this.
Pilot, stay out of Kane's thermite residence. It causes heavy damage.
We did it! We won! But the fight wasn't over yet. We had the brute to take care of. Okay, now it's over. We crack Kane's Scorcher open to grab his earpiece, and we're on to our next mission. Into the Abyss.
This way. It could be a shortcut to the rendezvous point.
PT suggests a shortcut, so we embark and check it out. On the way, we grab the Scorch loadout. Kane and I could have been twinsies. Then we come to what I called a corridor of carnage. Okay, I don't really call it that. I made it up on the spot, but still, it's a cool name. After bulldozing our way into the facility, we run into some more enemy titans.
I'm just getting distracted by your crappy shooting.
Trying to finish me with a missile barrage at this range was a fatal mistake. Just when we thought we had cleared the room, the gate opens and more enemies come in. But with our increased power, it's nothing we can't handle. Once we fight our way into a new area, we pick up the brute loadout and disembark.
Pilot, this loading dock's cargo lift offers a shortcut through the facility. Check your HUD for the control panel.
Good idea.
Thank you, pilot.
We check out a cool ship, and then make our way to the cargo lift controls.
Proceed through this facility without the cargo lift. I'm marking your HUD with the location of the controls.
We turn it on, but once we make it back to BT, he's gotten got. We couldn't manage to free him, so we'll have to follow him. After a minute, we make our way over to a vent and hop in. Looks like we'll have to catch a ride.
This is Ash. I have a Vanguard class Titan.
Right? Let's go.
Pilot, I'm being taken down an assembly line. Watch for crushing hazards on the assembly line.
I'll be more careful this time, BT. I won't let it happen again.
Crushing hazards on the assembly line.
Okay, I won't let it happen again starting now. This time we have a little buddy tag along with us. I just want to pet him. Man, I knew finding a house in this economy would be nuts, but I didn't think it would be anything like this. It seems another senpai notices us.
I see you, pilot. There is only one way out, pilot.
And have to climb our way out of some vertical housing. Once we climb up, we hitch a ride into the battle dome above.
Well done, pilot.
Once the dome's complete, they launch Scenario 127.
Loading Scenario 127 in Dynamic Simulation Dome 314.
Oh no, 127.
Now, we shall see how impressive you truly are.
I get some teammates to come join me, but to be honest, I don't think they're gonna be much help.
Let us begin.
Pilot, your heart rate is accelerating. Are you in distress?
Kinda busy, BT.
Even though I attacked first, he wasn't interested in me. He was interested in my teammates. Their power level wasn't enough to face him. I was starting to think mine wasn't either. Thankfully, these ticks helped us out. It's not over yet. We still have another Reaper to deal with. Thankfully, the ticks helped me out again and softened them up a bit for me. After narrowly surviving the fight with the Reapers, we get word that an army is about to breach the dome. This is our chance to get out of here.
As I should have expected, the IMC infantry clearly lacked resolve. Perhaps I have no choice but to step in personally. Rare miscalculation on my part.
We escape, and after a little bit of crawling, we make it to the Prowler Towers and activate them. After a bit of climbing, we make it to the top of this blue dome, and BT tells us he's gotten free. There's a few enemies, but we just run past them. We can't be late for our wall. Oh man, no! We are late! We don't have time to wait for another one. We'll have to make this jump. We made it. Out of one battle dome and into another. BT tells us it's too dangerous and we need to fight together again. So I embark.
Militia Titan spotted, chassis number BT-7274.
Looks like a couple of Titans stood between us and the exit. What else is new? It was actually pretty close. Thankfully, they started reloading. We made it to the exit, but the whole place was collapsing around us, and we still had more enemies to fight. The exit leads us to another dome. I can sense a great battle is going to take place here. Out of my way! It's time to get this started.
On your head, pilot. Let us begin.
Fighting regular soldiers with guns was one thing, but fighting another martial artist using a sword and the phase technique is a whole other story. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, she activates her sword core technique, boosting the power level of her sword attacks considerably. I'll just have to hit her with everything I've got before she can use it. Her phase technique couldn't help her either. I had already adapted to it. And with that, we win and perform a fatality. We can finally leave.
Pilot, I have concluded we should take no further shortcuts.
BT admits that was a pretty bad shortcut. And then we drop into our next mission. Effect and cause.
Pilot, Major Anderson is here. I will avoid all
While looking for Major Anderson, we get Schlort back in time. Apparently this place is full of time distortions. Eventually a bird breaks in to grab a snack, giving us an exit.
in such installations.
BT wants us to go check out the lobby. He says he'd go himself, but he has too fat of an ass.
I would accompany you, but unfortunately my chassis will not fit through the door.
We know, dude. We know.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, we found Major Anderson. It looks like he mistook the floor for a swimming pool. We take his helmet and have to break the news to BT.
BT, I found Anderson. He's, in the ceiling.
Objective complete.
Oh, well, he took that well. BT tells us his helmet had a voicemail message, so we listened to it.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Then he MacGyvers us a zipline, so we can go check out another building.
Maybe next time you can throw me.
Noted.
I drop into a room with a bunch of old security bots and no way out. Eventually they start to turn back on, and come after me. It's like a zombie movie. It's a blessing in disguise though, because they rip open the doors I need to get through. I wonder if I can punch that robot through the wall. Nice. I did that in my first Titanfall video. After we run past the robots, we make it to this confusing encounter.
Huh?
And then we finally find the top half of Major Anderson. Or is it the bottom half? Either way, we strip him of his bling because it can be used to control the time jumps. And it looks like we're going to need it to get out of here.
Additional laser meshes are online. Let's box him in.
I was nearly unstoppable before, but now with these time powers, they can't even keep track of me. Their defenses weren't much of a threat now either. If you need help with the dogs in this part, leave the robots alive. They'll actually fight them for you. I recommend clearing all the enemies out of this time first. So if you have to heal, you can just switch times and not have to worry about it. Alright, thanks, die now. hold the elevator. Once we deliver our one-liner after our epic battle, we change times and climb up through the elevator shaft. We make it into a room and BT starts talking about Anderson's logs?
Pilot, a fragment of Anderson's damaged log may be relevant here.
Anderson's log 341.
I don't know what's worse, that he keeps track of his poops, or that he's only pooped 341 times.
Anderson out.
After the show, a drone comes to escort us out. Then, on our way out, some enemies show up. And both times. Giving us a new way out.
Prep the Ark for delivery.
After playing a quick game of The Floor is Lava with these guys, we make our way over to the big sphere to listen to Major Anderson talk about his logs again. This time they send a bit more than a drone to escort us out. We almost eat shit in both times, and then get in one more quick fight before getting to the most fun part of the game. The time-traveling platforming. We find ourselves in yet another fight, and sure enough, as soon as we try to use our time travel, the beasts are on us to feast upon us. We make our way over to the zipline and hop on just in time. We toast our cheeks a little bit, and then we get to the most intense imposter challenge of all time. Before moving on, we watch another one of Major Anderson's logs, and it looks like he was in a kung fu movie. I didn't know he was an actor. A robot kindly rips the door open for us. So we beat him up in both times. We clear the exit and head down to meet up with BT. He's being attacked by a pack, but tells us that we need to extend the bridge. We'll have to get in this building to access the bridge controls. It's dangerous in both times, so we barely make it, but we made it, and we hack into the controls. Now it's time to fight our way out of here.
What the hell?
All these bots were tough enough, but now we have a Titan outside to deal with. But we have to meet back up with BT.
Protocol 2, uphold the mission.
I will, BT. I will. Protocol 2. Uphold the mission. Now let's switch times and find BT. Now that we're together again, he can use my time powers too. Before we defeat our foe and go, we stop to grab the ion loadout. Once we finish the fight, it looks like there's another one waiting for us on the bridge, where we just end up getting flashbanged. When we come to, we see our blings fried and time's frozen. Eventually, after some searching, we find the Ark and start scanning it. Once the scan's complete, we get flashbanged again, and wake up at BT's feet.
Well done, pilot. Scan complete.
Well, we lose our time powers, but we complete our mission. Now we need to get this information to the rest of our team. So now we head to the beacon.
We can complete his mission if we can re-establish contact with the fleet.
After a minute, BT spots the beacon and pulls a sick pose. Apparently I have to embark because of all the toxic gas around us. I think I can handle it, but he says otherwise.
I can handle it.
Unlikely, pilot.
I'll listen to him since he's my sensei. Before we get all gassed up, we find the Ronin loadout. Finally, this is the one I've been waiting for. We have a sword. We get in some practice with our new sword fighting off the robots, but we can't reach the ones higher up.
Tactical option. Run them over. My 40-ton chassis can eliminate smaller enemies.
Damn, he has a 40-ton chassis, huh? Just when I'm about to go insane, our team comes in clutch and kills the last bot for us.
Threat neutralized. This victory has raised our combat efficiency rating.
Our time training with our sword increased our power level. After a quick chat, they open up the doors so we can have another chat inside. They tell us that they lost control of the beacon because their arc tool's broken. They have another one in the substation of the base, but it's dangerous to go down there. It looks like this is a job for us.
They can turtle up to protect their heads. We'll hold them off, but they'll be gone.
We suddenly get hit with the horror movie classic of,
The last pilot in our unit went that way a few hours ago, but he never came back.
and then BT tells us this.
I have patched into your helmet display to monitor your progress.
When did this turn into a horror game? After a bit of spicy wall running, we come up to our next fight. I had to be careful fighting the drones, making sure I didn't fall in. And then it was on to the bots. I mistime my kick and get blocked by the blade, and then it pushes me down into the floor, and I get stuck. I try my best to break out, but eventually we just die and have to restart. This time, we go in sneaky deaky. After a bit more wall running, we make it to a big turbine. We're gonna have to shut it down to get past it, so we use it to boost ourselves up to its control room. As soon as we're about to jump down, 3 drones show up. With them out of the way, we make the descent and discover the ARC tool. We take it from this robot, and it ends up making him sad. So we give him a few head pats and a friendly punch on the shoulder before heading back. We get attacked by some more robots, but we can't use the ARC tool on them. It's still a weapon, even if it's called a tool. We find some more wind tunnels and have to use the ARC tool to navigate them. We make it to the stairs leading to the top, but first we'll have to fight these bots. Once we open the door, we jump in and wall run faster than we ever have before. We finally make it back with the ARC tool and head upstairs.
That was impressive, pilot. They're waiting for you back in the control room. Those were some amazing moves, sir.
We come back to see BT doing some training for our upcoming fights. Now that we have the ARC tool, we have to go into this room and activate all of the power relays. Thankfully, we're powerful enough to get the job done, and now we can turn on the beacon. Or not. BT and I decide to check out the beacon for ourselves, up close and personal. On the way, we stop and reminisce about the time I got brain damage.
My records indicate you received a concussion.
And then I open up the door for us. Then he spots a dish with a working module, and he says the only way for us to get it is if he throws me over to it.
Wind 3 knots, heading 274, range 95 meters, projectile mass 89 kilograms.
Water, 35 liters. Carbon, 20 kilograms. Ammonia, 4 liters. Lime, 1.5 kilograms. Phosphorus, 800 grams. Salt, 250 grams. Saltpeter, 100 grams. Sulfur, 80 grams. Fluorine, 7.5. Iron, 5. Silicon, 3 grams. And trace amounts of 15 other elements.
What's that?
It's all the ingredients of the average adult human body, down to the last specks of protein in your eyelashes.
Trust me.
Once BT throws us over, we make our way to the first of many cranes.
Yeah, here's Richter. That dead pilot is trying to use the beacon. All security units, this is Richter. Get to the beacon now.
After that great Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, we find ourselves in our next fight. I decided to get high for this fight. I just stay up top and run past these guys. Then we zipline over to some more rooftops. Suddenly, a Reaper shows up. It was a close one for sure, but we made it. Unlike that guy. Now we have a straight shot to the next crane, so we head straight to it and don't waste our time with the enemies.
Alpha 1-4, we are diverting forces to assist. ETA 3 minutes.
After playing the crane game a few more times, we finally make it to the next area. These guys just shut the door on us. Rude. So we'll have to go this way. But these guys activated robots to get in the way. We'll just have to wall run past them. I'll have to aim carefully here. Yes! We get the door open and make our daring escape.
Uplink targeting module detected.
We make our way to the controls and move the dish closer to us so we can take its module. I decided to take a detour at a construction site and avoid all the traffic. Now that we have what we came for, we just have to do some parkour with the arc tool and make our way back to BT. We eventually find a room with some enemies ziplining. Guess we'll have to cut in line.
Welcome back, Cooper. Recommend we secure this area before proceeding with the repairs.
He gets the spins for a second, but then scoops me up so I can embark.
Pilot control initiated.
Let's clear the area. I decided to fight these guys myself since BT couldn't reach them, but I forgot he'd lose control.
Agent target eliminated.
After a minute of running around, I noticed a guy above me. Turned out he was the last guy we needed to defeat. After the fight, BT throws me to the top of the beacon so I can replace the module. After climbing our way up and fighting past a few drones, we make it to the module. As soon as it turns on, it repositions itself, throwing us off. Thankfully, our buddy BT was there to catch us. We re-embark once again and head back.
Reapers inbound.
This time, the Reapers don't get the drop on us. After the Reapers, some Titans show up. It's time to put our sword training to the test. We finished the fight by testing out the sword core technique Ash had used on us. With them out of the way, it was time to fight the boss. Richter.
See what you got up close and personal. Oder willst du weglaufen, wie ein kleiner Junge? Huh?
As I'm about to win, I get knocked back. He follows up with a missile barrage to finish me off. That's when I learn a new technique mid-battle. Phase. I deliver the final blows with my sword core technique, and Richter says hasta la vista, baby. That was actually the second time I fought him. I won the first time, but I used missiles to finish him off. We finally get to use the beacon, and we get in touch with Commander Sarah Briggs.
Commander Briggs.
He tells her that Lastimosa was killed, and I've been taking his place. She asks him if he wants a new pilot, but he says we fight the best together.
Cooper is my pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating now exceeds 90.
That's high praise coming from a machine, Cooper. Listen up.
Now that we've made contact, it's time for the trial by fire.
Destroy entire world, but stand by for Titanfall.
She said the thing. We drop out of the battle bus and into a war. We just have to hold out and block until Sarah gives the order for everyone to fire on the wall.
This is Commander Briggs. Go weapons tree. Fire!
And with that, the Titan War commences. We get to see Commander Briggs perform a finishing move right here. I actually didn't see the Scorch here and just ran past him. After fighting our way to the elevator, the commander tells us she thinks we're a good pilot.
You're doing a good job, Cooper. As far as I'm concerned, you've earned your pilot certification.
Then we find the North Star loadout at the top, and right around the corner is another battle. It's not over yet. We grab some heals and keep going. This enemy tries to flank us, but I know this technique too well. After fighting a few Reapers, we finally make our way inside, but there's still more Titans in our way. Just when I thought I'd lost, everyone gets distracted by the enemy ship taking off with the Ark. We were too late. But like I keep saying, it's not over yet. We can't let them have the Ark. We start off the level rocking a rocket launcher, right next to our best buddy, BT. Of course Commander Briggs is with us too.
This is Commander Briggs.
But then we have an unexpected guest join the party. Viper. Then it dawned on me. How are we gonna get past Viper? While I'm thinking about our upcoming fight, he hits us with a barrage of missiles, sending us falling to our death. Our teammate Barker comes in clutch and catches us. I need to head over to that ship and disable their turrets, so BT's gonna throw me, just like before.
Not exactly. There are significantly more variables to throwing between two moving platforms. Good luck.
With that throw, we're one ship closer. The 6-4 gets us close and we hop aboard. With our cloak technique and some sly maneuvering, we make it to the elevator.
Cooper, hurry.
It's time to strike down the gunners like lightning. Now I just have to clean up a few stragglers and my teammates can move in. Once we clear the area, we get some teammates, and Commander Briggs lets us use her ship as a bridge to get to the next area.
Briggs here. What do you need me to do?
Close the door and keep her steady.
He's not thinking. No, wait a second.
Follow me. I love this joke.
Well, it's never boring.
Code red. Militia forces
You're
are
off,
holding the
David.
I go to where we need to go, but I can't progress without my teammates, and they're a little bit busy fighting. I guess I'll have to help them. It doesn't take us very long to clear this room, and then breach the next one. I didn't help them fight this time. I knew they had it. Instead, I headed straight for the control panel. I am the pilot after all. Once we hack in, we disable the guns, and steer the ship for a minute until BT comes and kills us. No, I'm just kidding. BT broke the glass so we could embark and face Viper. I had to have a bit of humor before the most intense fight of the run. This could make or break the whole thing.
The skies belong to me. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide.
Before we can get to him, we have to fight his 2 Scorcher teammates. The Scorchers can be pretty tough. Plus I'm being attacked by Viper while I fight them. So I need to end this as fast as possible. We take quite a lot of damage, but we defeat them. And now it's time for Viper.
Excessive damage. Warning. Warning.
Man has got core break hard kit built.
After we attack him with the sword core technique, he takes to the skies. Once I saw the checkpoint, I realized my worst fear had come true. He wasn't going to come back down. All we can do now is use our vortex shield technique and hope we can hit him.
You need to move a little faster than that.
We tried to strike him from underneath like we did with all our other flying foes, but it didn't work. He was too high. We did it! We landed a hit, but it didn't even break his shield. I didn't have enough energy to fend off another attack. I failed. But I remember saying that before. I failed. And I made it past then. I can do it now. I can't give up. There has to be a way to beat him. I eventually learned the flying technique myself from watching Viper and use it to land a direct hit, but he's unfazed. It's going to take a lot more than that to stop him. I was going to have to go even further beyond! I restarted the level so I had a chance to fight him on the ground. That means we had to get past his Scorchers again, but there were no match for us in this form. This is it. Time to see if our new power is enough. He evades the moment we use our sword core technique. Then he comes back, thinking the time's run out, but we managed to hold it just long enough to break his shield. Now, we finish this.
It's unreal.
I'm pretty shocked myself. But just as BT was about to throw me, he comes back for a surprise hug. I try to help, but before I know it, we get knocked to the ground. Viper rips BT's arm off, and then goes in for a finishing blow, but BT shoots his hatch off, giving me the chance I need to finish this. Now that Viper was defeated, we had to get the Ark back. There was only one way to open the Ark's container. He needs our help to reach the Ark, so he picks us up and puts us inside. It takes all of our strength, but we managed to push it into BT.
This way, Cooper.
With the Ark secured, we go to leave, and the whole place explodes. But that's just the first of many. So BT gets on top of us to shield us. We survive, but we've been captured. We can't give up here, though. We have to find the fold weapon. Blisk wants the Ark back, and threatens to kill me if BT doesn't open up and give it to him.
About what? His feelings?
BT tells him he can barely see after the explosions.
Ocular systems. Marginal.
So Blisk moves us closer. But it's all part of BT's plan. He opens up to get his guard down, and then takes a swing at him. BT saved us again. We pass out as he fights the rest of them off. We wake up to Sloane taking the Ark out of BT. As soon as I thought she'd leave and it would be okay,
Nice try, love.
she turns around and finishes him off. We pass out again and wake up alone, surrounded by flames. After a minute, BT calls out to us. He's alive! He's too injured to continue. We'll have to go on without him, so he gives us his head to help us complete the mission. Inside his head is the super fun smart pistol we unfortunately can't use, our handy dandy hacker knife, and last but not least, BT's eyeball. You know what they say, the eyes are the window to the soul or something like that. Once we have everything we need, we go and hack the door open so we can escape. Our jump kit comes online as soon as we run into some enemies. Perfect timing. We make a wrong turn, but quickly readjust our path and continue on the mission.
We have one last Vanguard in the racks.
Once we make it through, Commander Briggs tells us there's another Vanguard class Titan. We just have to make it through this area to meet up with them. We barely make it, but we finally make it to the drop zone and call in our new Titan.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Well, rest in peace, FS-1041. BT's gonna possess you now. I asked him if his power level was about the same as before, and he said it was
over 25,000 actually. It is time to complete our mission.
BT's right. We can talk later. Let's finish this. Commander Briggs tells us it's up to us to get inside the fold weapons control room. So we equip our sword and prepare for battle. Thankfully we'll get some artillery support for this battle. Deactivate our sword core and phase in to finish them off. But it looks like the artillery got them first. We get jump scared by the Legion as we round the corner. They're the last enemy we have to take out before we can continue. We get the call of the Void, and we definitely don't answer, and then we crouch down and continue through the tunnels. Want to know how I swung my sword in such a tight space? Ancient Kung Fu secret. We get injured more than I thought we would in the tunnels. so we very carefully get some help, trying not to hurt the little worker bots. Once we're all healed up, we enter the next room and find ourselves face to face with Sloan and Blisk once again. It looks like Blisk wasn't interested in fighting us. I guess it's just us versus Sloan. And of course her help.
A pile of easy money.
She has a powerful Ki Blast attack we'll have to avoid. Now that Sloan's down, we have to get to the fold weapon. BT tries to open it, and it blows up on us. While he's rebooting, Bliss stops by and sees if we want to trade cards with him. But we don't have time. We have to stop the fold weapon, and there's only one way we can stop it now. From the inside.
Don't worry, BT. I'm not going anywhere.
Copy that, pilot. Protocol 3. Protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
BT makes the ultimate sacrifice and saves me one more time.
Cooper, we just lost BT's signal.
Once Sarah tells us she can't sense BT's energy anymore, we do the craziest platforming we've done yet.
That's it, you're almost there. Move.
Then, we make a desperate jump for our getaway vehicle at the last second. We barely make it. Commander Briggs catches us and pulls us up. Just in time. Now we just have to collect the Dragon Balls and bring BT back. But that's for the next episode.